So why do I keep playing MMOs? I've asked this question so many times over the years, especially now that I have less time, more responsibilities with a 2-year-old son, barely having just an hour some nights just to sit down and breathe. And yet, here I am still logging into my main MMO, which is Black Desert Online, right? Still grinding, still chasing gear, still exploring the world. And it's at this point, it's not just a habit, right? There's something deeper. And I think the number one aspect or the number one thing that always pulls me back in is the escape. MMOs just give me a whole other world that I can just step into whenever I want, do whatever I want. No permission needed unless your wife tells you to get off the game. But just logging in, stepping into a character that I created, that I shaped, and it's not even really about pretending to be someone else, right? It's more like just turning the volume down on everything else around you, like in your life, and just being able to escape from the real world and just to de-stress a little. Now, yeah, there's the grind and people outside MMOs probably don't get it. Like, why would anyone want to spend hundreds of hours clicking trees, chopping them down, or killing the same mobs over and over and over? But there's something just so satisfying about it. Like in RuneScape, chasing that infamous skill cape where you have to get like level 99 on all of the skills, right? That taking a crazy amount of hours, but it's really, really rewarding and satisfying, and kind of every little level up felt like progress, right? It's like you're getting somewhere, same in Black Desert Online, right? That gear chase, it can be very, very frustrating and painful. But when you get that next pin or finally succeed, when you get a tap that you've been failing for weeks and weeks, right? It just hits a little bit different, right? It's that weird combination of pain and pleasure. Like, yeah, it sucks sometimes, but you choose that suffering, and that kind of makes it rewarding, right? It just hits that dopamine. And it's not just the numbers going up either, right? It's kind of the skill level too. Like maybe you're getting better at PvP, or maybe you're getting better with like movement or rotations, or whatever your thing that the game has, right? Even when it's something small like learning a new dodge cancel or shaving a few seconds off a boss fight, right? It adds up over time, and kind of that slow but steady improvement is super addicting. And then you've got the world itself. This is a big one for me. Like, if the world in the MMO doesn't feel good to exist in or play in, I'm probably not going to play it, right? I need that immersion, that wow moment where you just stop running and you just stare at the view, right? The distance of everything in sight, right? When a dev team takes the time to build something that just feels alive, that feels like it exists even when you log off, I'm 1000% in. Like, obviously I play BDO and the world is great, the graphics is amazing, but it does have like some weird pop-ins that definitely affect the immersion aspect of the game, which kind of sucks. I wish by now they would have like been able to fix that. But play a game like Throne and Liberty, even though like once I got to 50, I stopped playing the game, but its world and the detail in the world and the draw distance, like, bro, I just wish BDO had that. I mean, it's just gorgeous, amazing. I was just stunned when I was playing Throne and Liberty and just how beautiful it was. Another like MMO example of just kind of a beautiful world and just amazing immersion is New World, right? Now, I know that game has had its issues, right? It's had its problems over the years, but man, the world design is just solid, right? You can walk from one forest to another different looking forest to then a desert, and it just feels so real. And the sounds are just crazy, right? You can have a pickaxe and it just echoes that sound, and it really just makes you feel like you're in that world. Going back to BDO, right? The whole world is seamless, right? There's no loading zones. It's just you and your horse and just kind of the open road, and the world in BDO just feels more alive, especially with the amount of NPCs in the cities or in the roads, or wherever they are located at different parts of the map, right? Those NPCs in that game just make it feel a lot more alive. And I never really realized how important NPCs were in a game until I played BDO, and you're just walking through the city and the NPCs are just walking from one area to another, or whatever it may be, and it really just helps with that immersion of the game, and it just makes the world just breathe. And I think that matters way more than people give credit for it. Like, sometimes I'll just log into BDO and just kind of ride around and just not even grind, right? Just chill, wander off into like some random mountain or like some cave and just kind of see like what's there, right? And maybe bump into a few actual people playing the game, right? And there's just kind of a peace in that, and you don't really get that in many other genres. Then there's the social part. Even if I'm soloing most of the time now, dad life, right? And I guess that could be a whole nother topic, is should an MMO be solo or should it be more group based? I think it's important to have both combinations, but anyway, I'm not going to get into that topic. But there's just still something cool about knowing other people are just running around the same world that you're in at the same time, right? Like, maybe I'm gathering some herbs or hunting, and some random person just rides past me on their horse or walks by me, and maybe we have a small little interaction like, yo, what's up? What up, bro? Like, usually it doesn't happen like that, but it's just it's that little moment, right? It adds life to the game. It just makes it feel real. And when I do get to group up with my friends, like with my guild, and do some party shrine bosses, right? It's fun. It's actually a lot of fun. Or maybe, joining up with like some random player on a quest or a dungeon in like another MMO, right? That's the stuff that you remember. And I've met some really cool people through the years. I've made actually a lot of really good friends playing MMOs, people I've known for years now. Another thing that I don't think it's talked about enough is character progression that actually reflects time, that means something. Like, when I log into a game and I see my character standing there, I know how much time that character represents, and not just hours played, but the amount of effort that was put into it, the sacrifice, the grinding through the tough content, losing sleep over enhancement fails, right? Maybe even like spending some real money on some cosmetics to add a little bit of Flavor Flav to your character. Because at the end of the day, the character is basically an extension of you, and the cool part is no two characters are exactly the same. Even though they may look similar on the outside, everyone's path tends to be a little bit different, right? On the inside. Maybe you focused more on PvP, or maybe you focused more on PvE, or life skilling, or role playing, whatever you're into, right? The point is, you build something and you shaped it into something. And that's pretty rare, right? In gaming now, especially when there's so much that's designed to just be wiped away. I also think nostalgia plays a role, right? Like I started playing MMOs back in like the early stages of like high school. And for me, my first MMO was WoW, which now I've transitioned into playing full-time BDO, right? I've been playing BDO since 2016. But every time I try to play a new MMO, I'm always chasing a little bit of that old magic, right? That first time feeling of just like logging in, learning the ropes, not knowing what's around the corner, right? It's almost impossible to recapture that feeling, but we still go looking for it, right? Sometimes a new game will like come out and there's that kind of initial hype phase, even if it's just for a few hours, right? And even when the game falls short, I don't regret it, because for that moment, I remembered why I play MMOs in the first place. Now, look, I'm not blind to the problems that MMOs do have, right? They can be very grindy. They can be very pay to win. The communities can be very toxic. The developers can drop the ball on a lot of things in the game, and burnout can be very real, right? But no other genre gives me all of these things in one package, right? The exploration, the progression, the challenging PvE and PvP content, the community, right? Being in a guild, and, you know, finally just the escape, being able just to escape from the real world. And sometimes, you know, these MMOs, they can be comfort games. Other times it's like my full on like obsession. Kind of crazy. Like I at least play like 1 hour a day. It's a little too much, but you know, either way, a MMO is a home for me. And even when I think I'm going to go like try to play a different genre, I end up not doing it. Or if I do, it's only for like a couple of days, and I'm like getting that itch to go play BDO again, and boom, here I am. I'm back at it. And honestly, you know, I'm okay with that, right? At the age of 30, I don't really see another genre taking that away from me, because again, MMOs in general just check all of the boxes for me personally. But what draws you into an MMO, or why would you play a MMO over a different genre, right? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you and kind of your perspective. But as always, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great upcoming week. Peace.
Sunsets on black desert sky. It's just you and I.